So this video is going to be about the reptilians. A little bit of the history and a little bit of what their intentions are with humans, and some of the technologies that they have brought with them and integrated into our society. So the reptilians are a group of ET beings. They are basically they are conquerors. They conquer entire planets and they enslave them. This is what they do. They come from the dark side of God. They come from the devil, the fallen angels. They are basically children of the devil, if you will. They are experts at manipulation. They are experts at mimicking. They are experts at deceiving, just like the devil. They have a lot of the same traits as the devil. They are demonic in nature. They run with demonic spirits. They are, and they're here. So they live, they actually were in one of the, they used to live on the surface of the earth until their civilization got blown down below by some more powerful beings. Their civilization collapsed into the earth. They are now living below us and amongst us. So one of the unique features that unique capabilities that the reptilians have is they have the ability to take their consciousness from their body and place it into another body. I don't know if this is something that's built in their nature or if this is something that they had the technology to do. But either way, I know that they can do it for sure. So that's how they do this. They take their consciousness, pull it out of one body, place it into another body. And they just continue doing that. So they can live a very, very, very long time. And that gives them the ability to enable long-term plans for success in their eyes. That's what gives them the ability to manipulate Earth over hundreds or thousands of years in order to conquer us and enslave us. Make no doubt, my friends, we are in a spiritual war right now, and it is humans versus reptilians. That's just the way it is. They've introduced a lot of things into a lot of technologies into our planet that have been absolutely detrimental to our society. One of those is called the television. You might have heard of it. You might have one hanging on your wall. I assure you, it is a device brought to you by demonic entities in order to enslave your mind and in order to create the reality that they prefer. It is not called a television for a reason, okay? For no reason. That was done very, very much on purpose, okay? So it is there to send you propaganda. It is there to manipulate your thoughts and your minds. They are very aware of the laws of the universe and how the universe is created. That's what the universe is called, universe, for a reason. It is you and a verse. You and a verse. You create your reality by what you speak into existence. You create your reality by what you think, by your thoughts, by your feelings, by your actions. Of course, your thoughts and your feelings will ultimately move into your actions as well. So they understand this very, very well. And they use devices such as the television to put thoughts into your imagination and have you thinking about them all the time. And that's how they do, that's how they predict the future in a lot of these programs, such as The Simpsons and other ones, and lots of movies have predicted the future. It's not that they're actually predicting the future, they're just seeding the collective consciousness with things that they want to happen, okay? So if they want something to happen, they're going to make a movie out of it. They're going to make a television series out of it. And they're going to get as many people to watch it as they can so that they can seed the collective consciousness imagination with those scenes and scenarios. Because what you think about, what you dwell on, what you focus on is what happens in reality. So if they send something out on the television to the masses and lots of people watch it, this stuff will highly likely happen in the future, because they have seeded your imagination with it. And we are gods. We are creators of this world. We create this world with our own imagination. So you can imagine the power that they have when they go to manipulate the imagination of the collective consciousness. They harness a lot of power. So they also have introduced devices into our society, and they are called cell phones. Cell phones. And they come from cell towers, okay? And they call them cell phones because they're keeping you inside of a cell. They are enslaving your mind. That is what they are designed to do. They are designed to capture your attention and keep it there on exactly what they want you to see, on what they want to seed into the collective consciousness, okay? If you have a television, I want you to go take it off your wall, bash it in 2 million pieces, and throw it in the garbage can and never watch it again. This is serious. They're seriously manipulating you, and they're seriously manipulating the entire population of our planet, okay? They're doing the same thing with the cell phone. Obviously, cell phones and computers have a little bit more capability to do good with as well, right? We can also use these tools to fight in this battle. So I encourage you to use them for that reason, and watch what you are, be careful what you are, the information that you are consuming on there. There is a whole lot of propaganda out there. The majority of the stuff that you're going to see on your cell phone, and especially on the television, is propaganda, especially the news networks, the mainstream news networks. Those are definitely the worst, okay? The reptilians have infiltrated the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency. They are the heads of the CIA, okay? Then they have propaganda divisions. Their number one propaganda division is called the Central News Network, also known as CNN. This is what they use to spread propaganda to the masses, to manipulate you, to put you in fear. See, they're disconnected from source. They are disconnected from God. They have chosen, like the devil, to be archangels, to separate themselves from God. They don't want anything to do with God, which is fine. God gives us free will, right? So because they don't want anything to do with God, and I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Maybe it's because I have a short attention span because I use the cell phone too much. So they have separated themselves from God, and they have disconnected their spirits from God, and they need other sources of energy, and they get that from fear. They feed off the collective fear, and that's why they want to use the television to keep you in fear. That's why they use the Central News Network to keep you in fear, because they feed off of that energy. They need that energy. They need you to be in fear. And you're much easier to manipulate when you're in fear. Then they can bring you a solution to whatever you're afraid of, and they can integrate more restrictions to your freedom with that. Okay, that's how they run the world. That's how they're slowly capturing our freedoms, one little bit at a time. The government is not your friend. It is not your friend. The government at the highest levels is run by the reptilians. It is run by shapeshifters. These people look like humans, but they have reptilian consciousness inside of their bodies, okay? They are not human. They just appear to be human. I know sometimes people have a hard time believing that the government is really, truly doesn't like them or hates them or is manipulating them or is trying to make them sick or is trying to kill them. People have a hard time grasping that. And I think they have a hard time grasping that because they've never met someone so evil in their life. The amount of evil that's coming from the government, it's just hard for them to, it's a hard pill for them to swallow, because they've likely never met anybody that's that evil. They've never met a human that is truly that evil before. They've heard about him, but they've never met him. And that's really because humans inherently are not that evil. We're just not. We're beings that are connected straight to God. We are the children of God. We are in alignment with God as far as our collective consciousness. There are always strays and rogues, but in totality, we are service to others beings. The reptilians, sorry about the bell, there's a school nearby. The reptilians are service to self beings. Humans are service to other beings. Okay? And there's a big difference between us. So The government is operated by the reptilians at the highest level. So when you are trying to imagine why would the government possibly be so evil, and you can't seem to do so because you've never met anybody that evil before, it's because they're not really human. It's not humans that are running our government at the highest levels. It's not. It's demons. It's reptilians. These are lizard people, if you will. We are not the only beings in this universe. Sorry to tell you that. Matter of fact, yesterday, Congress came out and showed a body of an alien that was in a casket, supposedly a 10,000-year-old alien. Honestly, I didn't even buy it. It looked like a sandcastle alien to me, but whatever, doesn't matter. The truth is, the aliens are definitely real. There's no doubt about that. We are not the only beings on this in this reality, okay, in this holographic reality that we live in, okay. But they are coming out with it, and they've been coming out with it slowly for quite a few months now, quite a few years now, really. But especially, it's been slowly ramping up and ramping up. And that could be getting ready for a staged alien invasion as well. That's something that may be coming. They've been planning. They've been seeding our collective consciousness with this information through movies for quite a long time for an alien invasion. So I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. I don't think it's going to be actual other aliens attacking us. It's actually from outside of us. It's the reptilians doing it with their own people, with their own technology. Being used against us. If that happens, I think it probably will. I could be wrong. Not trying to predict the future here. Just telling you what I see is being seeded in the collective consciousness. So, yeah, some other things that the reptilians have brought to our society that might surprise you is cooked food. We are not meant to eat cooked food. We are meant to eat raw food. We are meant to eat food exactly the way that God made the food for us. God didn't birth us with a fork in one hand, a knife in another, and an AK-47 on our back or a rifle on our back so that we could kill animals, so that we could have the tools to cut them open and cut out their flesh and go and cook this. He didn't give us the tools to do that, so that's not necessary for us. The only thing that we need to eat is living food. We need to eat food that is in its rawest form, that is can be consumed without any tools, without any preparation other than maybe cutting it open. You can usually break fruit. You can always break fruit open with your hand, and don't think of a coconut. It's a nut. Remember, coconut. So all fruits you can actually open them up with your hands. You don't need tools to open them up. You might need a rock on the ground to bash it with or something like that, maybe, but you can usually open them all up with your hands. We are meant to eat raw food. We are not meant to eat cooked food. Cooked food is brought to you by the devil. Cooked food is brought to you by the reptilians. It's brought to you by witchcraft. See, the reptilians are into witchcraft. That is their thing. They are all into spells, and we'll get into that in a moment, the spells. But they want you to cook your food because they know it kills your food. They know it does not bring life to you. They know it brings death at your doorstep. They know that cooked food will shorten your lifespan. They know that cooked food will keep you sick. They know that cooked food will lower your frequency. Cooked food is a tool of the devil. It is a tool of the reptilians to lower your frequency. They do not want us to raise our frequency and find out who we really are and how powerful we really are. They do not want us to have good health. They want us to be sick, and so that they can control us. Sick people are much easier to control. People that are addicted to food are much easier to control. Cooked food is an addiction. It's an addiction, and we're all addicted to it. And now guess what? They control the food supply. They're in control of the ports. They're in control of the ships. They're in control of farms. Bill Gates is buying up all the farm land. They're in control of the food supply. They can stop the food supply if they want, and they're trying to, and they're working on it. It's a large food supply. They have direct energy weapons that they use against us right now, and they're using those things to go out and burn up a lot of the food processing plants, just like they burned up Maui so that they could put in the 15-minute cities. I understand that this is a lot of information to take in. If you have not heard any of this before, you may have already turned this off. and that is okay. You can always choose to take the blue pill and go back to sleep. You can pretend that none of this is actually happening. You can go la 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 la. I don't believe him. This isn't true. I'm going to be a sheep. I'm going to follow along. I'm going to do what I'm told, and I believe that the government has my best interest in mind. I can't wait until they open up the 15-minute city so I can go in there and live a life so I can own nothing and be happy. They'll own everything. We'll own nothing, says the leader of the World Economic Forum, Klaus Schwab, supervillain Klaus Schwab. That is, we are headed to complete and total enslavement if we do not stand up now. If we do not do something about it now, we will be their slaves. The reptilians will enslave us. They have an agenda. They've been working on it for a very long time, since before you were born, since before I was born. We are at the end times. Look up the 2030 agenda. There's so much information. They have to tell us what they are doing. They have to tell us. That is universal law. If they do not tell us what they are doing, there will be other benevolent beings that are stronger forces than the reptilians that will come in to stop it. They have come in to stop it in the past, and they have realized that it is not in the human's best interest. We actually need to experience this. When you look at this from a higher perspective, we need to experience this because we need to wake up. We are a sleeping nation. We are a sleeping species, and we need to wake up. So this is your warning. This is some information about the reptilians and their technology. I hope that you have learned something. I hope that you have enjoyed the video. If you liked it, please remember to give me a like and subscribe. My name is Barry DeBoard, and thank you for watching.